Yeah, me being on a monologue like that's not an uncommon occurrence by any means.
But I had a night
An uncommon occurrence by any means.
But I had a night
Year ago apparently, and then they've had I think at least one or two updates since then,
All right,
and
check
have not
check
fixed the
YouTube, see if it's
problem.
coming through.
I'm going to see right now.
Oops. Sorry, that's the first podcast. Let me refresh the page. Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
that's the one
live
where it actually seemed like it was decent.
All right, somebody talk.
Fuck you.
I mean, we've been fucking doing that for the past hour. What more do you want from me?
I can you hear us?
Okay.
Or what's going
Yeah,
on?
I can hear myself and everything. Yeah, okay. So it's apparently good on YouTube. Cool.
Alanception.
Alan session. So the really cool thing about this router though that I ended up picking up today, or ordering today, is designed for, like, the wireless signal is designed for large homes, and Cheryl and I do not have a large home, but it's like just big enough to where, like, certain routers don't quite, get like it'll reach the corners, the outer corners of the house, but it's like kind of a shoddy
Weak.
signal. Yeah, this because our house is between 1,300 and 1,400 square feet, something like that. This router I was looking at after the fact, after I bought it, like designed for a house that's 3,000 square feet. So, like, we should have, I would imagine, immaculate signal all the way.
Your
through the
neighbor
house.
will love your signal.
I'm sure they will.
You know what I just realized that makes me sad?
What?
No one got to hear our discussions about ketchup.
God.
What discussion did you have about ketchup? Maybe if you reenact that conversation for me, since I didn't get to hear it.
We're talking
Well,
about Ryan's
start us off.
vegan ketchup.
Oh, the vegan. Oh, I remember that from last week.
Among other things. Like how Marik seems to have something against people who don't store ketchup in the fridge.
No, I didn't say I had anything against it. I just said you're wrong.
I don't have anything against it. You're just
I agree.
like
I agree. Carol and I stored it in the fridge.
Because you're
I do
supposed
too.
to.
I store it there too. I just happen to have some with me right now.
wait. I'm
No.
calling you out on this one, Ryan. An hour and a half ago, you had it there because you just finished eating. I understood.
I haven't gone back to the kitchen yet. I haven't had a chance to put it up.
You're on a phone.
Yeah, you're on
it
a
goes
phone.
with you. Like,
Yeah, that would be getting up and going back in the other room, and then there'd be background noise.
So, okay, random weird food thing that happened with me last night. Cheryl and I went to Provino since it was her birthday yesterday,
to what?
and like I ordered the spaghetti classica, which is obviously just classic spaghetti, and I just added some stuff to it, like onions and mushrooms and stuff. Anyway, but it's just, noodles and marinara sauce, and then whatever I tell them to add. And I kid you not, and I mean this oddly enough was not gross, but for some reason, like when I took my first bite of those noodles, I looked at Cheryl and I was like, these noodles taste the way that the shoe department of Kmart smells. It was absolutely weird. Like
That is oddly specific.
Oddly specific for a
know,
store
right?
that hasn't been open for 4 years.
I know, but it's like I could detect. I somehow through the taste of those noodles, I could detect the smell of Kmart, and then like further, like subsequent bites, like I zeroed in more on what the shoe section of it smelled like.
This tastes like some shoes I ate a couple years ago.
Well, no, not shoes that I ate. Once again, it's like, the taste of those noodles was how that stuff smelled. and I don't know. It's
Alan,
really
Alan,
weird.
Alan, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? If a
Sure.
shoe looks like it might be made of leather or something of that nature, do you have to do you bite it, taste it to see if it is, so that you can wear
No, I
them?
don't.
No, apparently he smells it to see if it's.
But I mean, okay, but could a vegetarian wear those shoes? If they were real, does he have to go? Are these vegetarian shoes? Do they have real
Okay,
leather,
remember,
or
A
is it fake
vegetarian
leather?
could, a vegan couldn't.
Right. Remember the conversation from last week. Veganism.
By the way, I was
is
laughing my
is a
ass
life-
off listening to that at work the next day.
Dude, no, I can't keep
Veganism-
that shit straight because, well, I don't want to insult your lifestyle, but it's dumb.
But it's done.
I've had people say much worse about that, David, about my lifestyle. It's fine, but no, veganism is a lifestyle, and you can say that I have you could say I have a vegan diet, but if you straight up say I am a vegan, then that means you're following the entire lifestyle, and the entire lifestyle is very difficult to adhere to because it means do not use animal products. Period. It's not just eating.
That's why I'll never say that I'm a
being a
Jedi, because I cannot live up to that expectation.
But being a vegetarian, though, you just don't eat meat, and sometimes you take it a little further and say you don't eat things with lard in it and things like that. Because I take things to that extent, and even chicken broth and stuff, which sucks because that means I can't have the hash brown casseroles at Cracker Barrel because they have chicken broth in that mix when they make it. And I think that's just something that's already kind of pre-done. So it's not like I can say, hey, can you make me a batch of hash brown casserole without the chicken broth?
So what do you eat when you're sick then?
So, what do I eat when I'm sick?
Because obviously you ain't getting no chicken
I have-
noodle soup.
He
I
eats
know,
spaghetti.
no. I have tomato soup with cottage cheese in it, and I drink a shit ton of Gatorade. Like a lot of Gatorade, because Gatorade's got a lot of electrolytes in it and everything. And I also double up on the vitamins I usually take because I throughout my life I've historically been such a sickly person because being OCD, I don't build up my immune system properly and naturally and everything because I'm a little pansy like that. So anyway, 2014, I got strep throat 3 times in that year alone, and the flu twice that year as well. So in 2015, I called my general physician. I was like, Dr. Close, dude, I cannot keep getting sick like that. Do you have any kind of preventative measures that are like immune system building stuff that you personally recommend? And
He's like, yes, get sick.
No. Actually, what he said was take 50 milligrams of zinc per day, just regardless of whether you're feeling sick or not. Just make that a daily habit. Take 50 milligrams of zinc, and I'll be darned if I didn't go a full 18 months without getting anything as minor as a sniffle.
Yeah.
And then after I finally got sick again, after that 18 months, I was like, let me add something else to the mix. I'm going to take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. And then when COVID hit, the CDC was recommending that vitamin D3 or something. And I think you're supposed to take it's not 5,000 milligrams, but it's like some other measurement. It's like 5,000 something. Mm-hmm. So in any case, I take all 3 of those things every day regularly. But then if I'm sick, I double up on it. But I can't take it all at once. I can't take the double doses of each of those at once because your body can only take in so many of a particular vitamin or nutrient all at once before it just stops doing you any good. So what I'll do is if I'm on a double up day when I'm sick, I space it out by 12 hours. So I'll take each of those 3 pills at one point in time, and then 12 hours later take each of those 3 pills again. So that's what I do when I'm sick, though.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Let's say you're sick for today and tomorrow.
All right.
So you take some right now. Then you take some at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's twice for that 24-hour period, right?
Right.
Is that the way you do it, or? And I'm not trying to be a smartass, but I know some people that say I take it every 12 hours, but the dumbasses take it twice Tuesday, twice Wednesday, not every 12 hours, if that makes sense.
No, I'm saying like I genuinely try to. I mean, and sometimes it's not exactly spaced out 12 hours,
Right.
but like it might be spaced out, 9.5 or 10 hours. But then sometimes it's right on the money, 12 hours.
Right.
But what I'm getting at though is I try to space out those two doses. Once again, only when I'm sick, because I only take the one dose every day when I'm not sick and just trying to be preventative. But if I'm sick, yes, I try to space out those doses as much as I can, because as I mentioned, like with any of those vitamins and stuff, if you take too much at one point in time, it's not going to hurt you. Like if I took 100 milligrams,
Your body
of
just
zinc
stops breaking it down
yeah,
correctly.
yeah, your body just stops breaking it down, and it's a waste because it doesn't do you any good. So by spacing it out, 10, 11, 12 hours, like you actually get the benefit of having, at least the majority of that truly doing something for your system. But I mean, dude, I'm telling you, like zinc is a miracle supplement for me, and then everything else is just icing on the cake. But I'm a lot healthier, and it's all artificial.
See, I was doing that for a while. Well, I mean, technically it's not because it's stuff that's in your body naturally, anyways. You're just adding to it.
Well, that's true. That is true.
I mean, it's kind of like melatonin. Like it helps you sleep, but it's not like NyQuil. It's not knocking you the fuck out. It's shit that your body already produces anyways. But I was taking,
Right.
I started taking vitamin C a while back ago. I haven't been taking it as much since I've been, home so much. But I probably need to with the colder weather coming and shit. But I was just taking,
Right.
I think it's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day. And that alone just did it for me. But I have a better immune system than you do because, well,
Because you're not OCD or a complete
I
nut
don't.
job.
Well, it's because I don't put hand sanitizer on my hand sanitizer.
Hey, did I tell you? I'm sure I did tell you that haven't been carrying around hand sanitizer anymore because this off-brand bull crap during this pandemic is completely sticky and awful. So I just carry straight up rubbing alcohol with me now.
Well, I mean, you could just buy the shit you were buying. You don't have to buy the fake ass shit.
It's not available hardly, and like you very seldom like Purell Aloe is the specific the specific hand sanitizer that I always got.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot find that in stores anywhere. Like you can barely find Germex, which I mean, it once in blue moon you'll find it, but it's not very often. And if you hop online, you've got price gouging scalpers that are, being bad human beings and selling it for quadruple the price. And I'm not gonna buy like a, little 12-ounce pump bottle or a little 3-ounce, the 3 ounce just portable bottle for, like I don't know, $20 or so. I'm not gonna pay that. That's just stupid. It's completely ignorant and very immoral on the part of those scalpers. So yeah, like I said, I've just been doing rubbing alcohol and it's worked out well because I've not been able to. I've been struggling to find either find my wipes that I liked, the PDI Sandy hands, or if I do find them, they're also being scalped at way too much, way more than I'm willing to pay for. So I've had to switch to a different type of wipes, the wet ones, and I don't like them that much because they leave a little bit of a filmy residue on you. But if I in conjunction with that, if I'm using straight up rubbing alcohol, that kind of cuts through the filminess. So those two together have actually worked out a lot better than I expected. So I at this point, because of the type of wipes that I'm using, I think I actually prefer using rubbing alcohol, even if Purell was available. And yes, I know this is really convoluted and very weird, but I'm OCD, so it is what it is.
Okay. I may have just made a connection that it took me way too long to make. Alan.
Yeah.
I think of you like you're Adrian Monk, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You think of me like Adrian Monk. I by the way, I only saw like the first 3 seasons of Monk, but I loved that show. It was awesome.
Sharon?
Yeah, Sharona.
Yeah, Sharona. and you're sharing.
My Sharona.
I was thinking that too. My Sharona. Anyway, what about Sharona?
Well, it's not that. It's more Sharona and Shannon. You're Shannon.
My Shan. You mean Cheryl?
Daryl. Yeah. Sorry. There's so many.
The thing is, Monk's assistants, like, yeah, they carried around wipes for him and stuff like. Well, actually, I guess Cheryl has done that before in the past. Like, she's carried wipes in her purse, so I don't have to bring them in a backpack if we're going to an amusement park or something.
It just strikes me as hilarious that you've got Shannon and Cheryl.
Yeah.
They'll be out with friends, and one of her gal pals can be like, "Can I borrow your whatever?" And she'll be like, "I ain't got room in my purse because I got fucking hand sanitizer and wipes and rubbing alcohol and bleach." And I mean, it's basically his janitorial bag he just takes with him.
Honestly, it's really not. Like, I'll tell you what. Like, if we do go into an amusement park or something, what she'll typically carry, if she brings a purse that's sizable enough to do that. Otherwise, we have to bring a backpack, and if we bring a backpack, I'll carry it. But it is wipes, because you got to remember too. I've got irritable bowel syndrome too, and so there's a chance I might have to poop at the park, and I want butt wipes too. So we'll carry around butt wipes and sanitizing wipes.
Why do we keep coming back to talking about your ass?
On the topic of
it's a crappy conversation, I guess.
On the sanitizing topic, I went out to eat the other day, and I could not help but laugh my fucking ass off because there's a sign sitting on one of the tables right in the middle of the restaurant saying that there's a bottle of hand sanitizer or a bottle of sanitizing fluid available if you want to sanitize your table. And I watched some customers come in, ask for the bottle. They went in the back, got the bottle, handed them the bottle. They sprayed it all over the table and sat down on the table, crying. And my question is, who sanitized the bottle of hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
Dude, okay.
Because they're just handing it out to everybody that asks for it. And I'm like, I don't know if you know how this works, but...
Well, also, why when you clean the table, like clean the plates and food and shit, why are they not doing it then?
Most places do, from what I've seen.
Well, it's something to make the customer feel better. Like, you can come in and sanitize the table if you want to. I understand that. But I just thought it was funny because everybody questions the table being sanitized, but not the bottle that everyone is touching.
See, I just see Alan walking around with like rubber gloves that have just been like soaked in like rubbing alcohol. So everything he touches is just like starts just dripping for no apparent reason. Just looks like he's just, pissed all over shit.
Now, on the topic of the bottle, like, even when it's your own bottle, like that's something that I keep in my head at all times, because I'm like, I am grabbing this bottle out of my pocket. Once again, used to be hand sanitizer, now rubbing alcohol, but I'll grab this bottle out of my pocket with in my mind, a dirty, contaminated hand because of, touching a doorknob or touching whatever, and so what I've got to do, like, I basically consider my entire right pocket a contamination zone anytime I go out, because I keep my keys in there, and I keep my my whatever sanitizing bottle in that pocket. And so what I do, like, I'll reach in there and I'll specifically make sure that I get enough alcohol in my left hand, because I'm squeezing the bottle with my right. I get enough alcohol in my left hand that I will have absolutely enough to like thoroughly cover my right hand after I put the bottle up. But I make sure to fully put it back up in my pocket. I don't set it on a table or anything like that where I've got to touch it again later. Like, I make sure that I do not have to touch my bottle after
once you clean your hands.
Yeah, after I've then applied that sanitation to my hands. But yeah, that's always in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, this bottle's not clean. The stuff inside is, but the bottle's not clean.
That's just that's one thing that I feel like is so funny with like the way everybody's like the precautions everybody's taking with the virus now. Like I was out at a store the other day. I don't remember where it was, and they had a plastic bag over the card reader so that you don't have to use the card reader. But everybody's using the same fucking plastic bag on the card
Yeah.
reader.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm like this is the human race deserves to fail for thinking this works. Like, we all deserve to die for one person thinking this works.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally feel you on that. Like people, you know, I mean, I don't wish OCD on anybody, but I gotta say, like, I feel like I should teach people how to be like me just for this time period.
Should teach
Because-
people to be clean.
Right. Like I just like I have the mentality, like the perfect mentality for making it through this because you know, I've had half of my lifetime, or actually more than half my lifetime, experiencing, you know, going out in public, touching a shared surface, and then keeping in the back of my head, okay, this part of my body that just touched the shared surface, I need to remember this so I can clean this off at the soonest possible thing. And I'm keeping as soon as possible time. And I'm constantly reminding myself, this is contaminated. This is contaminated. I need to get this taken care of. And then, you know,
Training for this pandemic for over half your life.
right. You know, I know not to touch
Alan was
my
excited
face
about
if
COVID.
if I touch the doorknob. No, I was not excited about COVID because, like, yeah. And the thing is, you know, I've said this.
Alan's
to
like,
you
yes, I score.
high score.
He may not
You know,
be
like-
excited for it, but he's winning COVID.
But you know, like, you know, I've told all of you guys this. Like, the worst thing for COVID for me has not been any kind of fear of the virus. Now, I do have a healthy respect for the virus, but like, I'm not in mortal terror or
I don't have
anything.
respect for
It's
it. The
about-
virus is a
Hold up.
bitch.
My biggest frustration is, like, and it's a selfish frustration. It's, my gosh, it is so hard to find my OCD supplies that I buy year round, pandemic or not. You know, and that's the frustration I experience right now.
Honestly, it's not that selfish of a need. It's the way your head works. It is necessary stuff for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a psychological need and not a physical need.
Yeah, but psychological needs are just as important as physical ones.
Right. Yeah, I see that. Kind of like, you know, people that have emotional support animals and stuff, and like,
Right.
it's really a need for them to be able to take those animals.
I am now
everywhere they
calling this your personal support hand sanitizer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna drag it around on a little leash now.
He's gonna get in a new wrapper.
He'll have a little carry
Emotional
Oh.
support sanitizer.
Yeah, Patrick, you're not gonna be calling it his emotional support sanitizer. He's gonna be calling it his emotional support sanitizer.
He's never going to get that out of his head now either.
I know, I'm really not. That's awesome. I like it. I like that label.
It is. It's good. But yeah, with all
Oh.
seriousness, Alan, every now and then I think about it and I realize I can never even come close to understanding what it's like for you.
It's tough. Like, and I refuse to, you know, throw a pity party or anything like that. But I mean, you know, just, you know, having an honest conversation about it, it's tough to just have these intrusive thoughts in my mind virtually all the time. Like, and a lot of times, you know, if I get occupied doing something, I'm able to push it to the side. But even when I am occupied doing something, I still, I don't know, it's still just kind of always there, and I recognize if something happens. Like, let's say I'm playing a video game, and then all of a sudden I touch something that I just don't consider to be clean enough for me to then be touching my controller. Like, I will pause it and get up and wash my hands, or if I'm doing something online, I'll go ahead and finish doing what I'm doing online, but then I'll not only wash my hands, but I'll also sanitize my controller. And it's just it's kind of a prison. And I mean, and I'm thankful that I'm not nearly as OCD as a lot of other people out there. I don't exactly have a mild case, but I don't have a super severe case either. Like I'm not Howie Mandel or anything,
Right.
but it's tough. But I mean, the thing is, that's how I'm wired. I don't think I've told you guys this, but I do see a shrink every month. So I do get therapy for it. I don't take medication because most OCD medication is just going to be general antidepressants, and most antidepressants give you constipation, and I am not dealing with that crap, literally and figuratively. So, so yeah, no medication. Actually, the most effective OCD medication that I ever took was when I was like 18 or 19 years old, and it's called a Nafranil, and it was apparently one of the first OCD specific medications. Like it wasn't just a general antidepressant you could take for actual depression. Also, like it was geared for OCD, and oh my gosh, side effects were horrendous. Like it was really effective for my OCD, but I had a severe dry mouth, and I'm already a pretty thirsty person. I'm not quite like you, Ryan. Drinking 12 glasses at a restaurant, but I'm a pretty thirsty person in general.
I like how he just admitted he's a
And
thirsty
so,
person.
I was gonna let that one go.
I was
I-
not. I was not. I'm calling him the fuck out.
hey, hold on a second, guys. I'm having trouble
Oh my god.
hearing you guys now. It's weird.
I hear you
Okay,
just
but
fine.
anyway,
No,
the
hold
the
on.
other side effect.
I want to touch on
What?
I want to touch on the thirsty person thing. So you guys have seen the meme. I know you guys have seen the meme, like the black dude in like the bright yellow coat. He's kind of like hiding behind the tree, like rubbing his hands together, like he's like licking, like he's. That's
Yeah.
Alan.
Oh yeah, I've seen that
That's
meme.
Alan, but that's Alan when a store gets in a fucking shipment of hand sanitizer. Okay, I'm done.
Of emotional
Continue.
support hand sanitizer.
Alan, you were talking about that OCD medication.
Oh
I've
yeah.
always been
Well,
a big,
actually, let me finish tell you the other side effect first before you go off on what you were going to say.
Yeah.
The other side effect, and this was really bad because I was taking this medication right before we were going on vacation, was really severe breakouts on my chest and on my back. And so when we got to the hotel, I was actually kind of embarrassed to go to the pool because I looked like I was, some acne riddled preteen or something. And I was actually, I said I was in my late teens, but I actually think I was in my 20s. I was 21 or 22. So I wasn't even a teenager anymore. And I looked like I was an acne riddled teenager. So in any case, I ended up just discontinuing that medication and trying a whole bunch of other stuff that never was effective for me and plugged me up. So, eventually I just stopped taking meds altogether for it. Anyway, go ahead and say what you're going to say, Ryan.
I've always been really hesitant when it comes to medication in general, and for me it started when I was in elementary school, and I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I took a medication. I can't remember exactly. I think it was Adderall for ADHD, and it just completely ruined my memory.
I was the same.
Really?
I tried that for a while too. Like when I was in elementary school, I tried that for a while, and yeah, like my parents had me on that, and they said my grades went through the roof when I started taking it, but I was also just a zombie all the time, so they took me off of it because I would just sit there and stare forward.
It was actually, in my case, it was actually part of the reason my grades started to drop. Because like it was like the third grade, I think, and we were learning times tables or something, and it just destroyed my memory. I could not remember times tables from that at that point. It's also
That's crazy. I've never heard of it messing with your memory before. I mean, I've heard a decent amount about Adderall. That's nuts, man.
It was
Wow.
also around the time they taught cursive.
Oh,
And
wow. That's a bad time to have memory issues.
yeah, I can't write in cursive still.
Oh, really?
To this day, I still can't manage it.
I mean, all I can do nowadays is my signature because I'm so out of practice for it. But yeah, you can at least do your signature, right, Ryan?
No,
Really? Wow.
Can you read cursive? Okay.
Some. Like, I'm not great at it. I can sort of, most letters I can recognize, but some I have to just figure out what letter it is from what's around it.
Context. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the times where it's like several letters that strung together just right. You can't tell where one ends and the other begins.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Wow.
it's literally almost like a foreign language to me.
It's crazy.
I mean, cursive is pretty much a foreign language to half of the world now. They don't even teach it in most schools.
That's
Right.
true.
Which, I'm all for just expanding the mind by learning various skills. I'm absolutely for that. But if you're talking in pure practicality, the only thing that you really need to learn in this day and age with the technology we have and everything is how to do your signature in cursive. And that's really the only important thing you need to know
But
in cursive. Whereas, before this age of technology, I mean, that's kind of how adults wrote stuff. Like my mom still, like, she writes notes on her notepad, like for groceries and stuff. She does all that in cursive because that just
but
got ingrained into her, and she had a lifetime of doing that.
there's a lot though that can't write their name in cursive though. Like
Right, and that should not be the
yeah,
case. Like what I'm saying,
yeah.
like I'm saying that in this day and age, you don't necessarily need to teach a full
Mm-hmm.
on course in cursive, but
Yeah.
make a point to teach each kid how to at least learn how to do their signature in
'Cause I know
cursive,
when
and
I
like make
was
that, like whenever they turn in an assignment, make them always sign off on their own assignment in cursive
right.
to always reinforce that.
'Cause I know when I worked at when I was living in Florida and I worked on the Navy Yard. If you went to check a tool out, you had to like sign. You had to sign out whatever you were taking, and the woman that ran the tour room was all like always thought it was awesome that I could actually sign my name.
Wow, because she was so used to other people not doing that.
Right.
Yeah,
It wasn't to the point where some of them can't do it. It was like there's only like 5 of us that could do it.
yeah.
To be
But yeah,
fair though, the only reason I can do it is because I've always had shitty handwriting, and my dad forced me to write in cursive for like 2 hours after school every day for like 6 months. It
Wow.
wasn't
Really?
school that taught me how; it was my dad's impatience with my horrible handwriting.
but yeah,
See,
I've had
my
so
my
many.
handwriting, anyways, is kind of like it's morphed into like a combination between like print and cursive. Like a lot of the letters are still like print, but everything is connected. Like it's almost like when I'm writing, my pen just never leaves the paper.
I did see something funny the other day on Facebook. It was some young kid going like, "All right, new challenge: write your name without picking your pencil off the table." I was like, "Dumbass, you just found cursive."
Right?
Like, and he's talking like how like just like in his mind he invented something. You know what I mean? It,
Oh
Right.
God.
he didn't realize it.
And I mean that is one nice advantage about cursive is being able to, not take your hand off the paper or whatever. But once again, in this day and age, I mean, so little communication is done through paper in the first place
Yeah.
that it's not super necessary. And even with signatures, like I remember when Cheryl and I closed on this house, we did electronic signatures for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, no, I take that back. No, that's a lie. I'm pretty sure that we did, when we closed on the house, we did physical signatures, but for a lot of like the preemptive work, prior to closing day, because there's a whole lot of that too. Uh, we did do electronic signatures on a lot of that other stuff, like, when we agreed on the price with the seller and all that stuff. And a lot of times, like if you open a new bank account, or maybe if you're opening a loan online through a bank,
Yeah.
like a lot of times the bank will just, have you do online signatures for that too. So yeah.
But yeah, to wind back one topic, Like, I went through so many different medications for ADHD when I was little. I've just gotten to the point where I really just can't stand medicine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just in general, I don't like taking it if I can avoid it.
Uh,
Yeah.
if I take medicine, you can bet I'm in pretty bad pain. Like
Yeah. Like right now, I've got a
my
headache that I'm actually considering taking a couple Tylenol, and I never do.
like I broke my foot when I was in middle school or high school, and I break it every couple of years since. Like I don't even like I don't know. All I do at work is walk for 10 hours a day, and I will break my foot and walk around without crutches and just limp around all day, and I don't even take Tylenol for it.
See,
Like,
Wow.
you say that you say it just breaks every like couple of years, and I just imagine Anakin from Episode 2 and his lightsaber breaks. He's like, oh man, not again. And then you just keep walking. You're like,
well,
well,
I mean, you probably remember the first time it broke. I was in crutches in
yeah.
middle school for yeah,
I just can't imagine just like
in crutches
it just
on crutches.
happens, and you're just like, well, all right, and just keep going.
I mean, to be fair, it does always happen because I'm doing something stupid. But
For me, what it is that gets me to take medicine is when my sinuses get real bad, and it does have to be pretty bad. Like it's kind of has to be bad enough that I need it so that I can breathe well enough to sleep.
mhm.
So it's not like a bag over your head.
Yeah, more or less.
Hey guys, real quick, I'm gonna reboot my phone because for the past, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, whenever it was I said that I was having trouble hearing you guys, the audio has been coming through just my, not my speakerphone speaker, but the regular speaker, as if I was talking on the phone holding it up to my face. And like I have the speakerphone setting on Discord,
Ah,
and it's still like my phone's just glitching. So I'm gonna reboot, and I'll hop back in just like 2 or 3 minutes. So
okay.
I'll see you guys in a sec.
That's kind of weird.
I recognize when it happened, though. I heard him get quieter for all of us. So now we're left with the three people that don't talk
I
for
mean,
this podcast.
I was more or less just listening to. Like I don't have a whole lot of experience with like the OCD and ADHD. I mean, I have like selective OCD. Like I prefer for certain things in my life to be a very particular way, but not to like.
I'm OCD about OCD is probably not even the right term, but
I
Yeah.
think some of that ADHD, what you're talking about.
yeah. Well,
I'm-
like, okay, for me, like as somebody when I was learning to weld, I got really like if I go somewhere and like I can be standing in a line at McDonald's and look down at the handrail. It's got shitty welds on the handrail. It drives me fucking crazy.
All right, I can
Um,
hear the speakerphone again. Woo! All
Like
right, I'm back, guys.
it legitimately drives me fucking crazy. And then it got even worse when I started really fabricating because I can like I'll be in line at McDonald's and realize that not only does that weld shitty, but they have that handrail at like an 88-degree angle, not a 90-degree angle, and it just like yeah,
It's noticing that this isn't right.
right.
Yeah, I get that too.
And it's funny because now at work, since I'm quality now, so like Ryan will build a part and ask me to come look at it, make sure it's right before we send it to the customer. I'll get out there, and as I'm walking up to his table, I'll see something that's off, like it's not. I'll see something that's crooked, and walk up, not even look at the print he's got, and be like, "Yeah, that's wrong." How do you know? Walk over there and look at it, and the guy's like, "How do you do that?" I don't know, but that's wrong.
I guess
Like,
imagine him going into a place and being like, "Hey, this was welded shittily," and the fucking like teenager behind the counter is like, "All right,
So
like,
I
do you want
can-
ketchup or not? Damn it!"
I can do you one better. when I was still going to Northwestern for welding, I was actually still dating Caitlin at this time. So
Oh, that
this
was
is
a
a long ass time
long
ago,
time
right?
ago.
Yeah, long ass time ago. We went to Six Flags together, and we were standing in line at Six Flags, and
No.
there was something on one of the rides. I forget what it was. It was one of the new rides they had at the time, and it just kept really bothering me. And it was outside of the little area you're supposed to be walking. Like you're not supposed to walk out there, but it just kept really bothering me. And I kind of walked out a little further than I should have to look at it, and got out there, and it was like you put two pieces of metal together. There's a joint you're supposed to weld, right?
Hmm.
Oh no.
They had welded once and missed the joint completely. So they went back and they welded a second time and missed the joint on the other side. And then they just said, fuck it, and never welded it.
Seriously?
Yeah. So, like, this is a roller coaster. I'm looking at something that just blatantly isn't welded.
Yep,
I
that
walked back over and got in line, and she's like, what is it? And I went, you don't want to know?
that just adds right to my I don't believe people can build things like that safe enough, and now I definitely won't. I've still never to this day been on a roller coaster because of what you just described. Because I have that blatant fear that's like, I don't believe people can build this properly. Like a fucking plane. Hey, you want to take a plane?
You guys
Nope.
all three hearing yourselves?
What?
No.
I mean, I hear myself in my head. Does it count? I guess not.
For me, like I'll hear you, I'll hear you guys for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then everything completely cuts out. So you guys are
Jeez.
hearing each other continuously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there's something going wrong with my Discord app on my phone. This is irritating. Like it just started happening after I rebooted.
Dude, this whole like podcast has just been shit on. It's like I already had a shitty ass day, and then it's like, oh, well, here's some more on top of it.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Patrick,
I don't know.
swear to God that there's something about ADHD that is just tangentially similar to OCD.
I think it's because
they're acronyms.
you have a habit to focus. Like, I know it's like people think, people associate ADHD with the ability to not focus or without the ability to focus, but you focus on things you find interesting.
Right.
And as when I was learning to weld and learning to fabricate, that stuff I found interesting. And because it's what I still work in today, I still find it interesting. So I focus on it like from a mile away.
But like
So you're telling me that I might have
It-
ADHD and not OCD?
possible. I don't know. The thing is, like, I would never say that ADHD is as bad or worse than having OCD, because it's not. But it is so much harder to explain to someone.
Well, like for example, like when it comes to my trading cards, no matter what card game I was into at the time, like my shit had to be in a particular order every single goddamn time. Every time. Same
Amen,
fucking
brother.
order.
Amen.
But then it's like oh, my clothes, I don't care what fucking order they're in my dresser, just as long as they're not in my fucking way.
Just about every time I've talked to people with ADHD who do some sort of OCD thing, it's always about things being in the right place. It's never cleanliness. It's always things being where they should be.
Well, here's the thing, Ryan. Like OCD manifests in tons and tons of different ways, and also OCD is very selective. So, like David, you were talking about, like all your trading card game stuff was always just immaculately organized and everything like that, but then your clothes would be in a big heap pile. Um, back before Cheryl and I got married and I moved into this house, like I'm a lot neater with my clothes now. But back when I still lived with my parents and everything, dude, I had a pile of clothes on my floor too. So like I was just selective about what I cared about organizationally. But then on top of that, OCD, like I said, can take so many different forms. and no two OCD people are the same. So you can have people that have counting issues, like having to do things in numerical patterns
I
or
have
count
Yeah.
that.
to themselves.
I have that.
Um,
But
you have people. You have the germaphobe people, which, by the way, I'm both a counter and a germaphobe person, and then you've also got the organizational type people too. And I'm sure there are plenty of other types of manifestation that I just haven't really considered before.
But yeah, what
But
I was I keep coming back to thinking there might be some connection between ADHD and OCD, because I keep coming up with to people who have ADHD and they have some sort of obsession of it's always the same, like it's always this specific brand of OCD with ADHD people of things
right,
be where they belong.
I mean, mine's off
yeah, that
brand,
that,
so.
that makes sense.
And like you said, it is it's selective. Like it doesn't even have to be a in a place that makes sense. It just has
Right.
sense to you that that's where that goes, or that's
Like
how it be.
I remember talking to the VP of engineering was like talking to me about my OCD one day, and he was oh, sorry, VP of engineering at Aztec where I work. Sorry, I didn't go specified in that, but yeah, I was in the like his secretary's office, like doing some copies or whatever, and he comes out and he's well aware of my OCD and everything, and he's like, so do you go out and eat at public restaurants? And I was like, well, yeah, I do, and he was talking about like all the horrible things that he's seen, like in like employees in back alleys behind restaurants, doing very, very unclean things and stuff. And then also, and like him saying that one time when he saw something very specific that was going on around a restaurant with employees, he ended up actually getting sick after that meal later on that night or something. And he's like, I basically never go out to eat anymore and blah, blah, blah. And me being as OCD as I am, that is not something I'm selective about. Like I'm still okay going out to eat. Now there are some places I trust, less than others, but
Right.
a lot of times if I don't trust a restaurant, more often than not, it's because I fear the cross contamination with meat more so than I'm fearing some kind of
Your
germ.
issue with restaurants is more about being a vegetarian than about being
Yes. Yeah. Now, OCD, if a restaurant's just absolutely disgusting, like I remember back when I was hanging out with Delia pretty regularly, you guys all remember Delia.
yeah.
Like Delia and I went to gosh, what was it? The Waffle House on Battlefield, and like we saw a roach on the counter. And as soon as we saw that roach, we both got up and we were like, nope, never mind. Got the hell out of there.
Oh, that reminds me. See, if Sean was here, then he could sit and bitch about what happened to Genghis Grill.
Genghis Grill, what happened there?
Well,
One downtown that closed because they found roaches.
yeah,
Oh,
but
wow.
it's because they were
After
infested
it
heavily.
gets better. This is when I was still living in Florida.
Yep.
I had a weekend, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna come up this day. We made a group chat. I'm gonna come up this day. Okay, you guys figure out what the fuck we're gonna do. All right. Nobody could make up anything, so Sean went, hey, let's eat here. Nobody objected, so we ate there. I get back to Florida the next week, and the first thing I see is that the place has been shut down because of roaches.
Yeah.
John, you're not allowed to fucking pick where we eat anymore.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, no. He did. We've had that issue twice, though, haven't we? Or a similar issue. Not so much.
The next time we went, we went to, what was it, that 210 Jack's place?
Yeah.
The food was good, but the service was shit. Like I remember having like borderline yelling at the waitress because was it Brandy or Shannon didn't get like
Oh, it was
we all
Shannon.
had our food and
It
they
was Shannon.
we all had ramen and Shannon didn't even have her fucking salad yet. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how did you cook ramen before you made a salad?
She was the last one. No. So get this. Not only was she the last person to get her food, but When they brought her salad, they brought it with fucking chopsticks. She had to ask for them to bring her a fucking fork.
Wow.
Like
She had also asked for a drink, and she specified something sweet. And then when they brought it out, she took a sip, and she was like, "It's bitter." And everybody laughed. And then she's like, "No, I'm serious." And I was like, "There's no fucking way. Like, your one specification was sweet. Surely they just like try it." Holy fuck!
Yeah.
I actually, really, real quick. I mean, this is somewhat related, but a little bit more side topic. Have you guys ever been to the World of Coke down in, or the Coke Museum, whatever it's called, down in Atlanta?
No.
Yes, actually, we had there was a field trip we went to. I think it was back in high school, either freshman or sophomore year, where we went down there.
I'm gonna go with sophomore year since I didn't get to go.
Well,
Probably. I still have a little like souvenir I bought there. It was like a gold plated like Coke bottle keychain. Now, granted, the keychain part broke, but I still have the bottle. That place was cool, but what's really fucking stupid is they gave us no drinks. Like, really? You're not gonna let me sample some Coke shit in a fucking Coke factory? Man, get up out.
they didn't, seriously?
No, we could.
Because like that's what they do now. Like they have an entire, like, the last place you go in the museum before the gift shop is this massive taste test area. And that's actually the point of me asking you guys about if you've been to the Coke Museum, because I got something to say about one of those drinks.
No, they didn't. And what's worse is they had Coke vending machines in the place, but you had to pay for it.
Wow. Well, they're different now.
I'm the guy that if I ever go, I'm walking in with a Pepsi. I don't even like Pepsi. I'm just gonna be that guy.
Nah, Dr. Pepper, man, do it with class.
In any case, so like I said, there's this big, huge taste test area, and is the last room right before the gift shop, and like each station represents a different country, and like you have all these these different fountain Coke products that are specified for each respective country. And sometimes it might be an entire continent, just depending on what kind of variation they have throughout the continent. But in any case, so I would say this: the tour guides. I've been twice now with Cheryl, and the tour guides most of the time will try to trip you up a little bit, because at the very beginning of the tour, like, they tell you about this taste test area, and they specifically tell you, "Oh, and by the way, go to the fountain drink station when you're in the taste test area. Go to this fountain station for this particular country and try the drink Beverly." And and they're like, "Oh man, Beverly is so good. It's the best drink back there." And so anyway, on mine and Cheryl's first time around, we're like, "Okay, Beverly, this is the one the tour guide talked about." It was the most bitter, putrid soda I'd ever had in my mouth. And like, we both speculate that it's probably, because I think it might have been, it's either France or Spain. It's one of the European countries, like one of the really well known ones. I think it was either France or Spain. And we're thinking that it might be the reason that they even have a bitter soda like that is to be some kind of a palate cleanser when you're sampling different parts of a meal or something, because
right.
Some of those more classy countries do that kind of crap. So we speculate that that's it, but we don't know for sure. All we know is that tour guide pulled one over on us.
So you're saying that America isn't classy?
No, we're really not.
We're definitely not class. There is no class here.
Speaking of lack of class, what about this whole election drama? Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Oh, at first it was interesting and entertaining because the numbers were pretty close. And then like the only part I really paid attention to was how in certain states there was stop the count, and in other states they were like, we want to recount. Like, you lost. Get over it. Like, why are we doing this?
I think the part that was funniest to me was I forget what the reporter's name was, but she's talking about they're trying to decide if they need to count the mail-in ballots or not. And I'm like, what?
Well, okay. There's more to it than that because.
Oh no, and I get why. I understand the logic behind why, but if there's a cutoff date like that, then why the fuck are we doing mail-in ballots at all at this point in time?
Because of COVID.
Right.
Nah, because people are fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, like, you know, I once again, I very reluctantly and apprehensively voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But and so I'm disappointed. Like I'm not as worried about Biden being in office as I am Kamala Harris. Like that chick is way ultra left wing to the point where like the Democrats did not even want her because you know she ran for president first, like during the primaries, and you know the Democrats did not want her as their presidential candidate because one of the reasons being she was too left wing even for them. So like that it scares living daylights out of me that she will probably end up being president because Biden is probably going to bite the dust before his first term is up. Um, you know, being our president.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but with all that being said, though, I mean, I would love for the fantasy of there being voter fraud and they miraculously find out that Trump wins. I would love for that fantasy to be true, but I'm pretty darn sure that it is a fantasy and that Trump is making himself just look like a sore loser. He's being like Corey. He's being like Corey James, except for the presidency.
My thing is fraud or not. I mean, if you believe there's fraud, take it to the court. Let them do their research. Go from there. But all you have to do is say, "We're going to take this to court," and that's it.
Yeah, don't keep getting on Twitter and like continue.
I won. No, because at this point, you like. And I okay, if you genuinely believe there's fraud, I get it. It's frustrating, but when you're on Twitter every 20 minutes going, "I won, guys," now you're making yourself look like an idiot, and you're making everybody who voted for you look like an idiot. Because you just like screaming I won, screaming I win is not part of like is not a requirement to win. Like that's not how that works.
The past 5 years, I think, like both with the last election and then this one, I have hated both sides so much that my beliefs, my views on it are a little too extreme for most people. So I'm not gonna publicly say it. I'll happily share that with within the privacy of not on stream, but when you go, hey, here's idiot A, here's idiot B, who do you like better? And I'm just looking at it like it's like, do you want a fucking salad with dog shit on it, or do you want a dog shit burger? I don't want either one.
I feel like the problem is like we as a country are like the two-party system is outdated.
Oh, it's garbage. It is.
I agree.
It's not. Like everything is outdated. Nothing has changed since 1776.
The electoral college is functional. I feel like it could be better, but I just feel like as a whole, the two-party system is extremely outdated.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something I've said for years. Like, I would be willing to consider voting for a third-party candidate if third-party candidates, like every election, got representation in the debates. Like that's one of the biggest things for me because
why don't they?
Why I don't know. Like, and the thing it's not they don't always not get representation because Ross Perot in the '90s, the early '90s, 1992 specifically, that election, between George H. Bush Sr.
You had to have been like
George
8 at
Bush
that time.
And Bill Clinton.
How do you remember this?
I just do.
Why were you interested?
I was an older
in this?
kid.
No, you were not. I know you're not that old. I was born in '90. And you're not.
I was born in '82. I'm 38, dude.
Okay, so I called it. You were fucking 8. Why the fuck were you like, damn, I'm interested in this fucking argument of two idiots fucking saying I want to be king? Why weren't you watching cartoons, playing like what the fuck? I just please explain to me what little Alan was doing.
I did that stuff too, but the thing is, not only would I watch what was going on in the news with my parents, but like I listened to what my parents had to say about it. So, in any case, what happened, like with Ross Perot, he's actually the closest that any third party candidates ever come to being remotely successful in an election. And guess what? He actually got to be in the debates. Like they had three man presidential debates, not three, 4 or 5 man primaries, that's a different thing, but like actual presidential debates after the primaries, they included the independent party, which was Ross Perot.
See, and like I was leaning, like honestly, this time my preferred candidate was a third party candidate. I didn't vote for that person because voting for that person wasn't going to amount to anything. They never had a chance to win anything. You know what I mean?
Why third party candidates don't win?
Right. Well, exactly. But my thing, and this is where I say the Electoral College is outdated, because let's say that third party candidate had even half the votes Trump did. By default, no one would have hit the 270 mark.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the entire Electoral College is set up for two parties.
Yeah.
If there's two parties, one person will hit 270s. If there's any more than that, no one will hit 270.
I never considered that before, but yeah, that's true. So we'd either have to
you'd have to lower the requirement.
Yeah, lower the electoral point requirement
or an actual authority.
Or alternatively, and this is what the Democrats have been screaming about ever since 2016. But the other alternative is just go to a popular vote. The problem with that though is like the popular vote would be like it's so frequently going to lean liberal because of like all those congested rural areas, like big cities and stuff. I mean, big cities tend to always lean that direction, and so they, I know, like you're thinking, okay, you still got to think about the will of the people, and it's not people in big cities' fault that they happen to be a big city and have a lot of like-minded people. But that's just the thing. You got a lot of like-minded people in these congested city areas that will have a lot of votes because that lean one direction, because once again, it's a city that's like-minded. And then you'll have big, huge, country type areas where you also have like-minded people, but it's all spaced out and the populations are lower. So it's
that same thing is what throws the Electoral College off too, because like just Google election results and the map that pops up, click just about any blue state, and 90%, just about 90% of any blue state you click will be red.
But that's all.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was actually looking at those at the maps for this election. Like that blew my mind. I'm like, why is this state not red?
Nevada was one of the last ones that actually, like one of the last ones when they finally were fucking done. You can look at Nevada and it's all red except for Reno and Las Vegas. But their population is so high, and no one else in the fucking state matters.
Right.
Like,
so it's very frustrating. I mean, it'd be nice to find a different system altogether that's not the Electoral College or the popular vote. Like
on that subject, though, look at how other countries do it. Like look at how Canada does it. Look at how like European countries do it.
Let's just start a new. Let's just have a third party whose entire thing is just let's just be Canada party. If they win, the first thing they'll do is just give the United States to Canada. We'll just be Canada.
Now that we're talking about Canada, I'm thinking about How I Met Your Mother because of Robin Scherbatsky. David, remember the whole Robin Sparkles thing, like where she was
I love Robin Sparkles.
Let's go to the mall today.
Oh God. I mean,
Come on, Jessica. Come on, Tori. Let's go to the mall. You won't be sorry.
You remember more of that than you have any right to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
I
don't even
know.
remember much of that.
I actually have that song on my phone.
Ah,
Just being
that's
transparent.
beyond disturbing.
Oh man, that show
But
is so fantastic.
I don't know. That's been my biggest thing with like I said, with like this time around, I was leaning towards a third party candidate, but I didn't vote for that person because they were never going to win by default. Also, like I said, even if they ever managed to get a decent, like, okay, what would have happened if a third party candidate ended up with 80 electoral votes?
Oh,
Okay,
that
What
would
hey,
happens
skew it.
when every state is done voting and no one's at 270?
Right.
I don't know why I'm raising my hand because you guys can't fucking see me, but
Because you're a fucking
no.
idiot.
Okay, that's irrelevant. We already knew that, so shut up. I was on my phone. There's a thing. It says 5 hours ago from NBC News. There's a plan afoot to replace the Electoral College, and your state may already be a part of it. So that thing we were just
Wow.
talking about, it's like, oh yeah, we're already on it.
That is crazy. Wow.
I'm actually gonna open
I'm
it. While I
curious to
can.
see what they replace it with, because like I don't know. For one, the third party, all third parties get the shaft when it comes to funding, which I get. They're not going to have as much funding as the Republican Party or Democratic Party. I get that, but they get less funding, they get less coverage,
mm-hmm.
and then by default, the system is set to not allow a third party to really get anywhere. Because again, if a third party candidate gets 80 votes by default, no one's hitting 270. What the fuck do we do then? Like, I legitimately want to know what happens when that happens.
I think the only thing, like, if that ever did hypothetically happen, they would have to just take whoever has the most electoral votes out of the
Right.
three, because none of them attain that number.
Like,
But
is
yeah,
there anything
that's an unusual situation for sure.
is there even anything on the books that would give you an out to that? Like, is there anything that they could legally would be the right answer?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I really research it, I can probably find something.
Because yeah, if there's nothing legally that is the right answer to that, then they really couldn't do anything. It wouldn't be a case of just, well, it makes more sense to just do the most number of people, because you can't legally just say, well, this makes sense, let's do it. It has to be on the
But
book.
okay, but let's say there is nothing on the books. What happens? Does the person who's in the White House just get the next 4 years then? Like, what the fuck happens?
Like, best I can tell, my best guess is that if there's no law that says what you do, then they would have to make one then and there.
Here, I'm gonna go
And
ahead.
that'd probably be a Supreme Court thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
drop that link in the chat, so you guys can go to it whenever you want.
Okay, cool.
And also, Patrick, I sent you a little sneak peek of that project that I told you about. That's in your personal
Oh, nice.
messages.
But yeah, in general, I'm just so tired of politics.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of every bit of this. Because my mom, she is very pro-Trump. And I'm fine with that. I'm not for either party, because I don't think there's a right answer in the election, ever. But I'm fine with her being pro-Trump. She's welcome to support him, and I can see what she's talking about. But it's just like, if I say anything that even comes close to being political, I get this long, unending discussion of how Trump is doing everything to make things better, and the Biden's gonna make everything terrible, and
I just don't talk about it. Like this that we've talked about is me talking more about it than I ever do, and even then, I mean, granted, I'm being honest. I legit hate both of them. I think they're both fucking stupid. So really, I'm not saying who I'm more for because I'm really not more for anyone. But I just don't talk about it because I just don't have the patience or the brain power to listen to what some people have to say
Because
about it.
if you bring up not liking either side to either party, you're going to get like 30 minutes of why they're right and the other side's wrong.
I'm aware. Yep. That's
Well,
why I just don't.
it depends on who you talk to, though. Like,
I'm related to
like
the people that do that.
do what?
I'm related to the people that do that.
Right.
I have to talk to them.
And honestly, I used to be that way. But I don't know. These last few years, I feel like I've honestly gotten to where I lean a lot more towards the middle. I still tilt right, so to speak, but I definitely lean a lot more towards the middle than I once did. And like I'm very, very aware of Trump's flaws. I also can see that he has done some good stuff.
Yeah.
Prior to COVID, like the economy was fantastic. And now, and
Lemon pepper.
I do not buy into what he said about how he's done more for the black community than any
Yeah.
president in history or whatever. But um, he did the
I mean, I
one thing that he
probably
has
think
really done though.
top of my
Do what?
head, or I could probably think of one person off the top of my head that did more for the black community than any other in history.
Right. President Lincoln.
Yeah, he might have done more than Trump. It just maybe.
But anyway, but the one thing I was gonna say, like I don't buy into what he's saying about himself with that, because Trump just talks out of his butt a lot of the time. But one thing though that he did do is by lowering the unemployment rate as much as he did, like
Uh,
all that job generation and creation that he was able to do for the majority of his term, that was something that could allow the black community to, as opposed to like getting handouts and stuff, through the Obama administration and everything, like generating jobs allows you to stand on your own 2 feet. And so that in a sense is something that he did do for the black community. But once
Alan,
again, go ahead, sorry.
I'm not saying you're wrong. What I am about to say, though, is that I have heard that argument. I believe this is the 56th time I've heard it.
Yeah, and I get that, and a lot of people will use that to basically agree with what he says about himself, and I'm not doing that. I'm
It's
just
just
saying that
it's not, and it's not that I'm saying there's any problem with with thinking that or what you're saying. I'm just tired of hearing it.
yeah, I can get that. I can feel that. But yeah, it's I one thing that bugs me is other Trump supporters a lot of the time, because I feel like they make me look bad, because I know full well I voted for Trump, and most people that know me well enough know full well that I voted for Trump, but
Let, let, let
they
me
also know that I'm not a complete idiot, and I've got at least a halfway decent head on my shoulders, and I can recognize his flaws.
let me
So
clear
many other
uncertainty
Go ahead,
for you
sorry.
now, Alan.
Yeah.
Let me clear that uncertainty right now for you, Alan. They do make you look bad.
Yeah. 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 I know that they do. And
There's no
it's like
question about
and the big reason, the big thing that I see is they treat a lot of them treat Trump as if he's the second coming of Christ,
it. Right.
honestly. And he is not a moral man. He has done some very effective, efficient things at times through his presidency, but as far as just showing good character and like reflecting well on the rest of our country, as I guess as we would be seen to other countries and everything, like he from a just sheer terms of being a good person, he is not that, and he reflects poorly on our country as a result of it. So that's
It's because the orange, like it doesn't it doesn't reflect light as well.
Trump has been good for the economy, but he's not the face we need to be showing the world.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that.
Nobody should have to see that face.
I feel bad for his wife. Man, his wife is beautiful. It has to be a complete gold digging thing because his wife is absolutely gorgeous and he is not.
That or it was for citizenship.
That
But yeah, back to what I
Yeah.
said before. Let's just be Canada.
just be Canada, dude. Canada's national anthem is way more of a beautiful piece of music than ours. Our national anthem sucks. Like, I'm going down on record right now saying our national anthem, from a musical standpoint, not the lyrics, but from an instrumental musical standpoint, our national anthem is trash.
Yeah.
Just saying.
This is gonna sound really fucked up, but from working on the Navy, like when I was working on
And
the
actually,
Navy
even,
Yard,
like, even
Sure.
Someone say something.
yeah, when I was working on the Navy Yard, every morning at 8 o'clock, they do colors where they play the national anthem for every country that has a ship in port at the time.
Oh.
oh, that's cool.
Oh, it's great, depending on what countries are in port.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point.
Because if there's a lot of countries, or there are some countries where their national anthem is literally 15 fucking minutes long,
Or if they're Scottish.
And as a
Scotland, it's just
contractor?
bagpipes.
well, like,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with bagpipes.
and okay, they start with ours first. So we're supposed to stand there for our national anthem. But we're supposed to stand there for all the national anthem. There's been times where, as a contractor, I've been standing on the pier holding my tour bag.
Hey guys, you guys are cutting in and out again. I'm gonna reboot my phone again. I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Yeah, I had times where I'd be standing on the pier holding my tour bag for over an hour, listening to national anthems.
Fuck that. I'd at least set it down. Well, on a more positive, non-political note, so
Please, yes.
so how we were talking about like card value and stuff last week.
Yeah.
So the average purchase cost right now for that first edition of the very first Lugia printing, I'm seeing the sold sold amount anywhere between like $1,200 to $2,000. That's non-graded.
Damn.
And if you look on TCG Player, the cheapest listing for a first edition is $1,800. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Marik.
Hey, did you ever get? Well, never mind. Something probably for not on stream.
Okay, fair.
Hey, Marik.
See.
For future reference, so that you know that this is something I could do. You know, Among Us.
Yes, I want to do that.
I can be on Discord on my phone while playing Among Us.
Can you play it from your phone?
Yeah, it's on your phone.
Oh my god.
And it's sync, and you can play it with people who are on computer too.
Oh my god. Yeah, because I was watching Achievement Hunter do that shit, and I really fucking want to. Like, it's super simple.
Does Among Us have like private rooms? Like, can you set it like, okay, just the
Yes.
like 6 people up, 6 of us playing kind of thing or something?
Yes. Yeah, you can set it up to just be just your group of people.
Like, the only thing I would say is that I wouldn't be able to mute myself once we're in the round.
Hey, can
So
you
I
guys
would
hear me?
not say anything.
Yeah.
No.
I hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I rebooted my phone again, and right now I'm actually using my Bluetooth headset, so maybe this will work more effectively. But it really got to the point where you guys were just like cutting out after about 5 words, and then would cut back in after a few seconds. So hopefully this will work better.
Well, we've moved from politics to Among Us.
I've never played that game, and honestly, doesn't seem to interest me in the slightest. Like, I guess it's just a COVID thing. Like, people want to.
Have you watched it though? Have you seen it?
More difficult video games. I have not. Maybe I should give it a chance by at least watching it. But...
Okay, well, wait. Let me send you. I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link on Facebook from one of the Achievement Hunter's been playing it, like Rooster Teeth people.
Okay.
And
Another thing that
surely
might help
you
you-
can enjoy that.
Another thing that might get you to play it is you can play it for free on your phone.
Okay. All right.
So we could just do a stream
Well,
of that one night.
But yeah, I've discovered I tested it while we were waiting for you to get on the stream or on the
Okay.
Discord, Marik,
Mm-hmm.
and I can be on Discord and Among Us at the same time on my phone.
That's fucking awesome because that means I can do that from my PC.
Is the best bet to use Discord, or is the best bet to just use Among Us at that point?
To be fair, I'd rather use Discord because it's easier to discuss stuff in like voice to voice rather than having to type everything.
Does Among Us not have its own voice chat?
I don't believe
It's
it
not.
does. So,
Okay.
so the way I understand it, like based on watching the few times Achievement Hunters played it, I mean, because I've seen other people play it, I'm just like, as far as
I've never played it. That's why I asked. I've watched it played a few times.
same,
I didn't know if I
I've
had
never
it
played it yet. I wanted to, but I had to get a group together, and I didn't know you could play it from phone, which is a big deal, like for Ryan, for example. But
Yeah.
with Discord, the way it seems like they do it is when they're playing, they all have, like, if you down at the bottom where you can mute yourself in Discord, the deafen option. What they do is they click the deafen so that they can't hear anybody, and everybody would click deafen so nobody can hear anybody. But like for me streaming, I could be have deafen clicked, but not be muted, and then I can still speak to the stream, to the chat, but
Right.
not hear you guys. And then when the button's pushed, a meeting's called, whatever, everybody on deafens, you can hear everybody.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that.
You couldn't deafen from your
I couldn't
phone?
deafen. Well, no, the issue is that I can deafen in Discord. The problem is if I'm playing Among Us, to deafen, I would have to leave Among Us, go into the Discord app, and then deafen there.
I mean, you can probably just have the game minimized for a second while you do that.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
then
have to actually close it.
but that means every time when the round starts, I'll just be out. That might work, but I think that also might kick me out of the game.
That
I doubt minimizing it
that
would.
Well,
Well-
no, I mean, I think I've tried it in the past and it kicked me out of the game.
it would depend, because I know, like with Pokemon Go, half the time I'll close I'll minimize Pokemon Go. It'll be open on my phone for like 4 hours, and I'll open it back up, and it's still there. But other times, like, I'll minimize it to answer a text message, and then go back into it, and it's restarted.
Yeah,
Right.
So I don't.
it can't just end up kicking out.
So, but I mean, that shouldn't really be a super big deal.
All I have is just not talk.
Well, at that case, what you could do is it wouldn't really be you deafening, but when, like, during the point where, okay, everybody needs to deafen, just turn the volume all the way down on your phone.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was running through the mini games in my head. I don't think any of the little tasks require sound.
No, they don't. So then that way you just don't hear anything, even though you could if you
Right.
wanted to. If you wanted to be a shitty sport about it. But yeah, I'm fucking down for that. And Alan, I don't. Here's the thing. It may not look like a game that you'd be super interested in, but it's one of those things that it's like I don't particularly enjoy playing Smash Bros by myself. But if we get 4 or 5 of us idiots all playing at the same time, I fucking love it because it's just dicking around with idiots.
Marik, here's a question for you. Why
Sure.
couldn't you just mute yourself on Discord?
Because, well, I mean, I guess I could, because I could
I'm
mute
sitting here
myself.
who on the stream is listening to your Discord?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I could just do that too and just still be playing through. Hey! Alright, we're streaming! We still got, where's he at? Where's the thing? Starring Sean Brown! Alright, back to the podcast part.
Yep. I'm on my way home, so I'll come back on when I'm.
I mean, well, we already had a failed hour that didn't have anybody talking except me, so I sound like a fucking idiot. So,
I can't wait to listen to that tomorrow.
and now we've been. Oh my god, I want to delete that. I might just delete it or put it unlisted. But I mean,
An hour of David talking to himself.
we've been on
Hell
here.
yeah.
We've been on here for an hour. No, it wasn't anything. Like, all the settings were correct. I just had to fucking restart the program, which doesn't make any sense because the program, I had just opened it before starting the stream. So, I don't fucking know. Today's just not been my day. But I mean, we've already
That's
been
to check
live.
for. Sorry.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've already been live for more or less 2.5 hours at this point, so I don't know how much longer we'll be up.
Well, I mean, probably about done now because I need to finish up. I may bow out and let you guys continue talking now.
I'll stick around for a little bit longer, but I'm getting awfully hungry because I still haven't had dinner yet.
I have not eaten,
So-
and I can smell it cooking, and it smells fucking delicious.
That,
I'm done
It's not.
eating dinner.
It's not vegan. It ain't vegetarian. It's wholesome, good ass food.
Is it pescatarian?
No, it's not religious either.
shut up.
Got vegan ketchup from last week.
No, none of that. We will not have any vegan
All right.
ketchup. We will not have any organic ketchup. We will not have any ketchup at all. And Ryan, you better put it back
As
in the
much
fucking
as-
fridge.
It's back in the fridge at this
Okay.
point.
Because
At this point, I would love to stay in part of this conversation, but I am gonna have to let it drop out of this right now. So I'll listen to where this conversation goes later.
there's no telling.
It's going to the fridge.
See ya.
Well, have a good one, Ryan. See you, man. Hey, Sean.
Yeah, Ryan.
Sean, you still there?
Yes.
Hey, you asked me last week if I'd seen Konosuba, and I'm like part of the way through the second. Actually, I think I just started the second episode today because I wrapped up the rest of Full Metal Panic. But that show seems like it's going to be pretty hilarious. Did you like it pretty well?
Oh yeah. I've yet to watch the movie because I'm waiting for me and my girlfriend to get a spare time to go watch it.
Yeah.
But what I've been told, I mean, I've seen both seasons. And it's amazing. But Beeman told me that if I don't find that funny, there's something wrong with me.
Right.
The movie,
Yeah, I
that
mean,
is.
every reviewer that I've heard talk about, the show, the movie, whatever, like they all rave about how hilarious it is. So, and I'm already enjoying it, and I've not even gotten to meet Megamine yet. Like it's only.
Megaman is the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen. Of Megamine, but right now it's just what's his face, the main character, and then the goddess Aqua that he drags into this world. Like that in and of itself is hilarious.
Yeah, like everyone makes the whole joke of Aqua being useless. I mean,
Oh yeah.
You'll see later on. I'm not gonna ruin anything.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, she is pretty much useless. She's just a big crybaby. An entitled crybaby.
Hey, by the way, you guys, just so you know, that me having a headset on has only mildly helped the issue. So if you start talking to me at any point in time and I don't respond, it's because you've cut out and I can't hear you. So just to let you know.
Yeah, I think it cut out a little bit when you were talking about your experience with Conan so far. A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was cutting out too then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, in my part.
No, he did.
That is so weird. Like there's got to be something going on with
Check. Make sure your Discord doesn't need an update when you get off tonight. Like, I'd check your Discord app. Make sure you don't need an update.
Dude,
Yeah, I'll check it. I'll check
It's
it.
just tech in general today. Anything tech is just fucking off.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
fucking off. I love it.
But Marik,
See,
did you watch that video I sent you about the decline on Pokemon cards potentially?
no, I saw it, and I like when I saw it, I legit just did not have time to look at it.
Yeah, like I can already tell you that like you remember last week we were talking about evolutions, like how Charizard is like 250 bucks, something like that.
Yeah.
It's already tanked down to 80 now, and that was yesterday. I checked it yesterday. That's
Well, see, and I
like
kind of
what's the
expected
price
that
now?
because it's only that's only a couple years old. But like we were talking,
Yeah.
I mentioned to Ryan and Patrick earlier, because we were talking about that last year. Right now, if you like going through like eBay sold, like the average for that first edition Neo Genesis Lugia is around $1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah.
So I've got that at
Well,
least.
let me let me get up here real quick. I can kind of head to my laptop. I just not poured it in my driveway.
Gotcha. I don't fucking know what this is.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and get off of here because, once again, hungry, and also the cutting in and out thing is really starting to get to me. So I'm going to see if I can find an update for the app, and hopefully things will be better next time around. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. So it was fun, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, so
All right, man.
just remember though, there will not be one
Next Monday,
next
right?
Monday. It's possible, but again, like they're looking at us going in on Thursday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday would be the 5th day, so it's possible, but I legit just won't know for sure.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just just let me and everybody else know. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
All right, bud. Peace.
Later.
So, Patrick, I'm sending you this this list of the stupid shit from my Pokedex. And if you have any of it and you can trade it to me.
I'm gonna be honest. If it's Sword exclusives, I probably have released all of mine already.
I mean, and that's possible, and that's fine. But if you do have any of it, like I'm just giving you, like in the list, the list I just
Get me
sent you.
if you get, like I said, I was about to say, if you give me the list though, I can probably get you. I can't do it tonight, but this weekend I can probably get the rest of it for you, or at least most of it. If you don't have it by then, which with the Facebook group, I'm sure you can.
Well, see, it all depends. It all depends on when I can do it because, I mean, like, so we don't have the hotspot on our phone anymore because we have the internet in the house. So,
Right.
like, the only internet I'm going to have on me at the hospital is going to be my phone, but I won't have hotspot for the game. So, like, I'm trying to get the list I sent you is all the, like, first form stuff. And as long as it doesn't, like, there's a couple things that require trade to evolve. But other than that, like, I can just evolve the rest of the shit. So,
Yeah.
if I can get it, then... And, I mean, I'll be bringing the Switch with me and not the dock, obviously, but I'll be bringing the charge cord. And that's pretty much what I'll do when there's nothing else to do.
Sorry, I'm reading about this whole thing that you linked up.
The what?
This news article that you linked up.
Oh,
I'm just reading about that.
Yeah, it was something we were talking about.
I've been all over this whole thing since freaking Wednesday.
Ugh. Granted, it's not.
I mean,
I've been to discuss.
I've gotten. Yeah, I'm to the party on that one, I guess. I just know I got my own view about this whole bullshit.
I mean, honestly, like it's one of those things where I like. Yes, I kind of like I care about it, but at the same time, I've got so much shit going on right now. And if we're looking at having to be set up in the hospital on Thursday, that means I have tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday to get everything done that I need to get done. To get everything done for content, have everything scheduled up.
Yeah, you need to worry about that first.
I've got to I've got to do that stuff. I've got to get the house ready because like we have all the stuff from the shower, but it's like we got more shit than we kind of really needed. So like, we've got the shit everywhere, and I've got to get it all cleaned up and stuff before. So like tonight, I'm probably gonna be up all night. Which, I mean, I've got plenty of coffee, but caffeine doesn't fucking have that effect on me. So at most, it'll just be a hot drink that maybe that'll keep me up.
I can come over and just get you fired up. Like, yeah, get your ass woken up.
Yeah.
I'll go
I
freaking.
don't think
I'll go full.
That.
I'll go full drill sergeant on your ass. I'll treat you like how I treat people at work. Oh, do you want to hear my story about Saturday at work? Or do we have time for that?
We probably got time for another story or two.
All right. Okay, let me get myself situated real quick. Like pop my neck and my knuckles and everything. I already had to tell this one time already because I told my high school buddies about this. I just found that hilarious. All right. So I'm pretty sure I told you that I'm pretty much like the in quote head honcho of my department.
Terrifying, but okay.
Hey now. Anyway, so I'm doing my normal job tote wrangle because Friday night I did my non-indirect job was problem solve. So Wednesday, Saturday, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get ready to work this night and then I'll be out for the week until Thursday. So I'm already in a good mood. I'm busy, get myself situated. So around an hour and a half into shift, I get told by one of the PGs that I'm actually going to be training into soon. So I'm noticing, hey, you're going to be going to pick. I'm like, I just go off. I was like, what the fuck for? We are getting slammed up here. I'm the best guy you have up here. Why in the hell am I going to pick for? He just shrugged and he's like, man, I wish I could tell you. I wish you would stay up here and get everything straightened up because it's getting heavy. I'm like, yeah, exactly. So another 30 minutes show up. My personal assistant, he and I are cool too. And he said, hey, Sean, I got some bad news. And I just, without thinking, I just go off on him. I'm like, yeah, I know you're going to pick. Don't call my ass up here to help you out. And get backed up, get all the lines backed up. I just go full on pissed off mode. And so I'm pushing a batch for other associates to get it. He just telling me all like there's under head count and pick. I'm like, is it because of the football game? He said, yeah. I'm like, how's that my problem? It's not my problem that people don't want to show up, do their freaking job over a stupid football game. And so I go to pick.
That's it. That's an excuse to not go to work. Man, we got that game. Like shit, I'm gonna have a game every fucking day.
I gotta see men take on.
To go to work on PlayStation.
Because I gotta see other men tack on top of other men.
Wait, isn't that wrestling?
Anyway. Yeah, but they're not half naked though.
So I have a story from work that happened last week, but I should probably not say it on stream. So when we're
I'm not even done with mine yet.
Oh, I know. I'm just
when it comes to Patrick's work stories, I've heard enough of them over the years, especially during all of our trips to go play Super, that I know that a lot of them either one are not appropriate for a live stream, or two, he just doesn't want to throw that out there and then somebody hear it.
It's appropriate for a live stream, but I have promised somebody I would drop the topic, so I don't need to.
Oh, okay.
Get yourself
air it out on the live stream. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll hear about it at some point, anyways.
Yeah. So I go pick. This is about 8:15. So I do my job. Go to break around 9:15 until like 9:35. So I pick for 25 minutes at 10 o'clock. I get a message on my scanner saying, please come to problem solve ASAP. So I'm thinking in my mind, is this a trick for me to help those sorry asses out? And so I go to my department again, go to problem solve. I say, hey, what's up? I'm being called over here for I helped you guys out last night. They said, oh, we have like over 630 shipments in backlog, which is, well, I know this might go over your head, but in theory, that's very, very terrible. Of things just being all canceled out and messed up, damaged item, or the sorter's just a dumbass who can't scan with the shit. So I get myself logged in and I start working. Well, fast forward to around 10 minutes till 3. I'm over here talking to other employees. Well, another one shows up with a cart full of items. I'm like, okay, I'll help out and get this stuff. But she mentions in the very bottom rack that there's a tote and it has busted up a can, like fruit energy drinks. Yeah, the hell, that makes freaking sense. Fruit and energy drink? Bullshit. Anyway, it's bust open and it has maggots in it.
Ew.
So I'm thinking, why in the fuck is this up here for? And the picker picked that on purpose and sent it up here for some reason. Well, if you're picking a damaged item, you can clearly damage it out. There's damage bins all over the damn building, and the pick mods. But apparently, someone's just a lazy motherfucker and just think it's funny to send it up to sort and have a big mess of leakage everywhere. And so I'm about to go to break at 3 o'clock. So I go back and storm at the same PA that I bitched at earlier. I apologize between them and then and there. Like, hey, I'm sorry I've been off anything like that. That shit just really pisses me off. Like, you send me somewhere else and you get backed up. Like, that makes zero fucking sense. Anyway, I say, you find out who picked this and send this shit up here and report their damn asses. I'm over here just livid because I don't fuck with maggots or anything discussing like that. And so my PA is like, okay. And, well, apparently my boss, he wasn't there today. It was replaced by a pack manager. And he's like, what? Well, I'm confused. And he didn't know how to find people who pick items and that sends it upstairs, which is easy as piss to do. So I grabbed a computer, scanned that disgusting damn item on the research, and like, here you go. Here's your culprit right here. Now I'm going to break, trying to calm myself down. And so around 5 o'clock, things are slowing down finally. Then, well, for problem solving, we finally got backlog back to like do something which is normal, like 200. So all the buffers and tote wrangle are backed up again, which I was doing at the beginning of the shift. And so Cody's like, hey, Sean, we need you to help. I'm like, oh, I was waiting for this all damn night. So I get myself just amped up and go help them out. Like 15, 20 minutes, even after all the totes keep crashing down all the buffers, I clear all that shit out. And so he comes up to me again, 10 till 6, saying, hey, let me know when you get done. We're going to have you 5S this time, which is pretty much straighten up the entire department. So if they should take over, make it look nice. So I get that done within 30 minutes, which is 6:30. And he just starts saying, apologizing about all the shit that went through all night. I'm like, hey, it's cool. I'm sorry I was a dickhead. I shouldn't have acted like that, but you know me. He's like, yep, I know. Sheesh, this sheer ignorance and stupidity about damaged items, that, especially when it has maggots in it and busted open clear as day. That shit just really pisses me off.
I wouldn't have even touched it. I'd have been like, nope, not my job description.
Yeah, even the sorter said it came to them like that. I was like, yeah, that is clear evidence that was picked on purpose.
I mean, that's fucking 3 anyway, so.
Yeah.
And now, since peak is coming, and let's see, it is the 9th right today. Oh, lovely. In 2 weeks, it's probably going to get worse for a month and a half because of the holiday season. Yay, greenhorns.
Jeez.
I put up with that shit enough already this damn year. Because the freaking coof.
Well,
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention this last week, but time ran out. But I'm pretty sure I had the virus back in late November, early December.
I'm pretty sure most of us.
Because it was the same. Yeah, it was the same exact symptoms. Like my buddies that I was with today, they can tell you straight up. Like I looked like I was fucking dying because I was supposed to help them chop up wood from this tree that was in my yard at the time, and they were trying to wake me up with revving their chainsaws next to my window. I was not but an inch. Eventually, I woke up, came out the door, looking like I was about to fall over, coughing my damn lungs out, sneezing everywhere. Like, hey, are you alright? I'm like, I don't know. And I never wore a mask when at work. Like if I'm sick or whatever, I'm just like I'll just put up with it and go work. But I actually wore a mask just to make sure no one got what I had because that shit was horrible. I was like, I don't want no one having what I freaking had. And then look what happened in January. It's all showing up, and I'm like, is that what I freaking had? And now months later, people are like saying, oh yeah, that there was reports of that in like October and November. I'm like, how am I surprised that was what I had?
That's why it's called COVID-19.
Because I'll say,
COVID-20.
I don't even call it that. I call it the Wu flu, the coof pandemic, and all that bullshit. I just jokes about it. Like, I'll say, like that's probably like the second worst thing I've had in my life. The only thing that beats that is when I was 13. I had the stomach virus. Like, I could not move without throwing up. I couldn't even move a muscle without throwing up. It was terrible for 2 days. Now, and ironically enough, I was watching Osmosis Jones too on the couch when I was a kid,
Well,
and I was sick as a dog.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here because I gotta get something to eat. It's 9:30, and I don't even remember eating today.
You're having my issue from last week.
Pretty much.
Like I was tired, I was hungry, and it had not. Like now, I'm like all woken up and full of food.
Yep. So we're.
Oh yeah, well before you go,
Do what?
all right. Before you go, do you like the icon that I finally got?
Oh, on
Wolf with a top hat with a cigar.
Yeah, I see that. That's I like that.
That's fucking class right there.
All right. Well, all things considered, we had an okay stream. Good last 2 hours. First hour technically didn't exist because it just sounds like an idiot talking to himself for an hour. So, won't be a podcast next Monday, but there will be one the following Monday. I would try Tuesday if everybody works with that, but it sounded like Tuesday's not going to happen. So, we won't see you guys again.
So the 23rd and 24th.
Yeah, so the 16th won't happen, but the 23rd we should be back. Like I said, the 16th could happen,
Right.
but I really won't know until the day of.
That's fine.
So, but I mean, I'll let everybody know as I know. But I'm going to go get some food, and I guess I'll talk to you guys on Facebook, text, whatever before then, so.
Alrighty.
All right.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Later.
See ya.